Were pubs always about pints and gossip? Did the scent of spilled ale once signal rebellion, not just refreshment? Let's dive into a world where a tankard held more than just liquid. It held secrets, scandal, and sometimes a spark of revolution. Forget dusty textbooks. This is a story woven from forgotten pamphlets, bawdy ballads, and the lingering echoes of a past obsessed with drink and its peculiar influence. The 16th century England wasn't a land of polite tea parties. It was a landscape of mud, sweat, and surprisingly potent beverages. Alehouses, those rough-hewn wooden dens, weren't just places to quench thirst. They were the beating hearts of communities, the arenas where fortunes were won and lost, and where the whispers of discontent often began. Imagine a scene, a dimly lit room, smoke hanging thick in the air, the rhythmic thump of dice, and the boisterous laughter of men discussing everything from taxes to the latest rumors about the king. Bernard Cap's research paints a vivid picture. Almanacs, those astrological guides promising fortunes and futures, weren't just for the wealthy. They were sold in alehouses, read aloud by traveling peddlers, and debated by the common folk. G.R. Ost's work reveals a surprising connection between literature and religion. Sermons were preached in taverns, shaping the beliefs and morals of the people. Alexander Barclay's Ship of Fools, a satirical poem, found its audience in these very establishments, offering a darkly humorous commentary on society. But it wasn't just about entertainment. John Hale's Of Gluttony, a sermon denouncing excessive eating and drinking, was a common sight, reflecting a growing anxiety about moral decay. The debate between English and French heralds, meticulously documented by John Coke, wasn't confined to royal courts. It spilled into the taverns where men argued about lineage and honor. Let's rewind to the 15th century France. The Dictionnaire des Quatre Vins Francois, the drink of the four wines, wasn't a sophisticated wine guide. It was a manual for navigating the complexities of courtship, hinting at the intoxicating effects of wine and the allure of a woman's attention. Robert de Blois' The Chastisement of Ladies offered a brutally honest guide to attracting a partner, emphasizing the importance of appearance and charm, a recipe for both success and, perhaps, a touch of desperation. Step into the world of Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, and you'll find pilgrims gathering in a hostelry, swapping stories and indulging in copious amounts of ale. Iris Origo's observations of 16th century San Bernardino reveal a similar pattern, a communal gathering centered around food and drink, a space for social interaction and, let's be honest, a bit of mischief. Then there's the darker side. Cuckold's Haven, a pamphlet filled with crude jokes and scandalous tales, offered a glimpse into the undercurrents of desire and frustration. The Méconceit des Filles, The Mischief of Girls, a 1736 manual, served as a cautionary tale, warning men about the cunning and manipulative tactics employed by women to achieve their desires. The 17th century brought a flood of ballads and poems celebrating the joys of drinking and the pursuit of pleasure. There's No Lust Like to Poetry, a song from the Roxburgh Ballads, captured the sentiment that a good drink could unlock the imagination and inspire creativity. But it wasn't just about artistic expression. Daniel Riviere's analysis of proverbial language reveals a deep-seated connection between food and symbolism, suggesting that even the simplest meal could carry profound meaning. Consider the plight of women. The Good Wife wold a pilgrimage. The good wife would go on a pilgrimage, depicted a virtuous woman's journey, highlighting her piety and domestic skills. Christine de Pizin's A Medieval Woman's Mirror of Honor offered a starkly different perspective, scrutinizing the lives of women and exposing their vulnerabilities. Guillaume de la Tessinière's L'Édifice des Demoiselles, The Scourge of Young Ladies, was a scandalous expose of female vanity and deceit. The Renaissance saw a flourishing of culinary literature, with authors like Pietro Aretino dissecting the habits and appetites of both men and women. Plain Song from Aretino's works, a satirical poem, mocked the pretensions of the wealthy and the excesses of the court. The French poet Joachim du Bellay's Le Jour des Bacchanals, The Day of the Bacchanals, celebrated the unrestrained pleasures of wine and revelry. And let's not forget the role of drink in shaping social hierarchies. In Venice, as documented by Jean-Pierre Gutton, taverns were crucial spaces for social interaction and the exchange of information. The English alehouse, according to Christopher Hill, was a microcosm of society, reflecting the tensions and anxieties of the time. The 18th century witnessed a growing concern about the dangers of alcohol, with figures like Johann Weyer warning of the destructive power of drunkenness. However, the allure of wine remained strong, as evidenced by the writings of Montaigne and Rabelais, who explored the relationship between pleasure and excess. The Golden Route, a tale from Giambattista Basil's Pentamerone, offered a cautionary tale about the perils of seeking forbidden pleasures. As the centuries rolled on, the relationship between drink and social life continued to evolve. In Paris, as documented by David Garrioch, the tavern remained a vital center of community, a place where people could gather, socialize, and debate. The diaries of Henry Mackin, a 17th-century merchant, provide a glimpse into the daily rituals of drinking and socializing in England. But it wasn't just about the big cities. In rural areas like the Lorraine region, wine and beer played a central role in social life, as documented by Martin Magwin. The Charivari, a festive procession with satirical elements, served as a means of social control and moral instruction. The 19th century brought new challenges, as alcohol consumption became increasingly scrutinized by reformers and social commentators. Figures like Robert Muskingbold explored the connection between drunkenness and social unrest, highlighting the role of taverns as sites of dissent. The 20th century saw a continued debate about the effects of alcohol, with figures like Edward R. Emerson documenting the history of beverages and their cultural significance. The diaries of Parisian residents, like those recorded in A Parisian Journal, offered a glimpse into the everyday habits of drinking and socializing in the city. The story doesn't end there. In the 21st century, the pub remains a powerful symbol of community and tradition, a place where people can connect with each other and celebrate life's simple pleasures. But beneath the surface of this seemingly familiar institution lies a rich and complex history, a history shaped by drink, desire, and the enduring human need for connection. So, the next time you raise a glass, remember that you're participating in a tradition that stretches back centuries, a tradition that has shaped the course of history in ways we are only beginning to understand. And ask yourself, what secrets are hidden within the amber depths of your drink? Was the tavern truly a haven for the marginalized, or merely a stage for exploitation?